Here we go. It's your host, Rick Russo. Welcome to another episode of Suitcase City Podcast. And that's good, and that's from the Lord, really. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Vietnam. Well, hang on. Let me do something real quick here before one of these ding-dongs fucks up my vid. Boom. All right, we're back. Okay. Anyway, that's my fish bubbles, and there's some mushrooms up there. Kind of looks like, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, you know what? I named today's episode Two Flags, One Truth for a reason. You know, I'm not an extreme leftist or right person. You know, it's pretty obvious where 85% of the country stood this year in the election. Yes, I'm wearing pajama pants and a V-Lone shirt. Does that match? Probably not. But, you know, I'm that guy. So, anyway, you know, it's pretty obvious what anybody with a half a brain did this year. And the other, you know, 15%, God bless you. But, you know, I posted this picture with the American and the Mexican flags, and some people lost their mind. Other people were just like, as usual. You know, the people that understand this is comedy were like, ha! You know. And y'all, I mean, are just fighting over imaginary lines right now. Like life ain't shorter than a damn TikTok attention span. You know, too many of you have gotten used to this alternative lifestyle to where you have completely forgotten each other and humanity. And I was there before too, you know, and I didn't really see anyone else's perspective. But these imaginary lines I'm speaking of aren't so imaginary, are they? Huh? And why not, Rick? Well, probably because let's flip the switch here, okay? Why don't we all think of why people come here in the first place? 1, no bullets in schools. There's no holes all over the buildings. 2, the cartels aren't running our entire country, running it into the dirt. 3, you all have iPhones, internet, running hot water. 4, you go to the mall. You complain about everything. 5, you wear makeup to the gym, you dumbass. And I mean, the list goes on and on, right? Because while these are imaginary lines, we still need to respect each other's country. Like, I'm not going to go to anyone else's country and do anything wrong, because most of these countries are just going to take a huge dump on me if I do. You know, and this is my handy dandy notebook for the day. So we're just going to keep that. Yes, I take notes now. I need to. I have frontal lobe damage, like a donkey kicked me right in the fucking head. So anyway, shout out to Geek Bar. Don't make any money off of them. Maybe one day. All right. You know, so we got so many different of these stereotypes, right, in comedy. And they don't, bro, there's no fucking stereotypes in comedy. It's comedy, okay? And if you don't like comedy, don't go to a comedy show. Don't watch comedy clips. And definitely don't go on there hating on everybody just because, you know, you're upset that, you know, you got a shrimp. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing to me. You know, nobody's fighting over peace. You know, we've got flags in both hands, all right? But when's the last time one of y'all extended that hand to shake somebody else's? We're all American here, okay? Those of us who are here legally. If you're an illegal immigrant, I mean, I'm sorry that this is what it is, bro. I know it's tough where you're from. I get it. I've been there. I've visited. I've seen it firsthand. And I have a lot of friends, man, who really have come from that struggle, but you know, they've slowly but surely done what they're supposed to do. And violence isn't the answer. I mean, The View had Arnold Schwarzenegger on it, right? And they're just like, oh, this guy's a liberal. He's gonna take our side. Well, The View's fucking canceled, okay? They're done. Praise God. Okay, because nothing good comes out of that show other than a bunch of people, all right, And they don't even know what they're clapping over other than avocados and almonds that are destroying our entire ecosystem and killing a bunch of bees. But that's fine. Don't kill a cow, though. Just destroy the world. So, it's just like no matter what side we're on, we're all going to end up under the dirt. Okay? One day or another, we're all going to end up there. And these riots that are taking place, okay, like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, he came over here at 21 with nothing. Professional bodybuilder, actor, governor, the list goes on and on and on and on, and charities and charities. And The View had him on. And they're like, well, we know this guy's going to take our side. No, he didn't, okay? And you even see them trying to touch him like, please stop, But why stop? It's true. What is violence against your own people going to do, especially when it's being paid for? Now, I know what you guys are going to say if you're on one side. Well, what about the shootings and the lists? Well, what about it? That's been happening forever. There's radicals, bro. There's freaking radicals. Why does everybody now have to be a radical? It's like, well, they can't be famous, so they got to be famous somehow. So they got to, go over there and just show out in front of the entire world at how good of a fire they can start. Congratulations, bro. You're trying to kill somebody's dad or mom that's in law enforcement. And none of it makes sense anymore. And it's just a shame. Arnold was talking about how he came here and he did it the right way and he got his visa and he earned his citizenship and he worked his ass off. And, a lot of you aren't going to agree with me because you've been completely brainwashed, and that's fine. I refuse to be brainwashed, I'll admit it. I loved Obama until I saw what he did to, the African-American community, especially within the jail and prison systems. I mean, read something, bro. If you really don't know what's going on and you're just like, well, I'm left because of a pride flag or, dude, almost all the gay guys I know are freaking right now because they just can't stand the idiocracy. Like, you've got to think at some point about something other than your feelings. You got to think about the betterment of humanity in our society. And right now, I mean, if you look at California, it's been on fire for God knows how long, and now the people are burning it again. And everyone's like, yay, keep it on fire. Everyone's dumb as shit. They've lost their minds, dude. And so Arnold he goes on to talk about it. And I bounce back and forth and get used to it or log out. And he just goes into it like, bro, I worked my ass off. I did this legally. You can't be doing this illegally. America doesn't stand for it. And no, we don't, dude. We don't stand for it. Nor should we. Why wouldn't we protect our country? You don't know who's coming in. You think you know because they're on the news like, oh, I got paid by so-and-so. They never say that part, right? They never talk about Trump, pardoning the African-American woman who had life plus 25 for a misdemeanor charge, pardoned her and made her the pardon czar, okay? She only had to do 22 years. That's a long time, but it's better than life plus 25. He got her out of there and made her the pardon czar, gave her a job. Look at what RFK is doing. The left is so mad at him. Why? He's helping our kids, dude. And maybe you guys are just mad because you got the COVID vaccine and everybody's freaking got problems from that. You fell for that too, okay? And no, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Listen, if you really needed it and you were a little bit older, fine, but giving it to babies? Come on, bro. They still haven't done proper testing on it. I'm not even going to go into the vaccine part. Just read and learn and stop being left or right. Be smart. This is our country. And if you have children or grandchildren, I think you'd be smart enough to want to preserve what great life you've lived and pass that on to them instead of the whole damn place being on fire all the time, bro. Anyway, let's talk about other aliens. Oh boy. The government's just been like, yeah, aliens are real, here's your $7 gas bill. Like, you can't just casually drop that in there and not give me a coupon, you know? But I know why it's being done. They just want aliens to vote. Oh! Anyway. So aliens are just kind of looking down on us like, you know, y'all are still arguing over pronouns, you know? And we out here speaking in quantum burps, and, you know, everybody's just mad because they're just mad because they want to have both a penis and tits. Let's be honest here. And that's how you know Earth is actually like the Florida of our galaxy, right? It's like just a bunch of madness going on. And you know these dang aliens are up there like, and they're just looking down like, God, man, when are they going to get it together, you know? You know, the crazy part is also now you've got all these manfluencers, right? You got a 22-year-old dude in a rented Lambo, right? So, wake up at 4 a.m., you know? Eat raw eggs or stay broke forever. No, dude. Your entire life is fake just to get clicks. You know, whatever happened to people just being so genuine? I think everybody's kind of lost it at this point. And, you know, it's not cool to be strong. It's not cool to use violence if someone tries to harm your family. It's not cool to properly date a girl. It's not cool to just want a girl and not somebody who thinks they're one. Like, bro, shut up. I have 2 kids and back pain, okay, and PTSD from dial-up internet. And everybody out here is just talking about retarded shit, okay? It doesn't need to be going on anymore, you know? It's ridiculous at this point. It's like the further we advance, the worse we become. And I don't understand it, you know? I really don't, man. You know, Mexico's a beautiful country. Beautiful beaches. But what it's not and what it's lacking is a solid government. You know, so now you guys are going to, not the Mexican people, but us, our own people. Like, you see a bunch of angry white people out there protesting, and it's like, the same thing happened with BLM. And I actually supported BLM until I found out it was a gigantic scam financially, and those 2 ladies went broke from spending all those billions of dollars y'all gave them. I even donated at one point. Everything's a freaking scam now. People use race to get rich, bro. I don't understand. I mean, I have one person on my Facebook, I don't even want to read her stuff anymore. She just bashes Trump so bad and sits down all day. Get up and walk. Do something. Right? Other than just sitting here hating and not solving any problems. Y'all just sit there and post shit to piss people off, and you don't do nothing about it. And, you know, I get it. You may have a gay daughter or son or something. But, like, dude, that doesn't even make sense. Hang on. Baklava break. Let's get... No, I'm not Greek. I knew there were people that made it. All right. We've never had baklava. That can bring peace to our country. My point's very simple. Stop taking this shit so seriously. All right? We got the best country on planet Earth. Do we? Yes, we do. Okay? Got all these other countries that promote the shit you think you believe in. Go live in a 1-bedroom with your 6 kids. Okay? Go make the same as somebody else who's gone to school, or you've gone to school for 10 years. The other person just works at a fucking Slat Donald's. Slat! And you're making the same thing, you know? It's amazing to me. It's really confusing. But what can you do? Other than try to tell people to just get along. No matter who you are, you know? Our president's our president. You know? If you really think Kamala would have been better, you're nuts. Sorry to say it, but Joe Biden, he wasn't even our president. Someone was just like, controlling him. Never seen somebody fall so many times in my life. And, you know, it's funny, but it's not. It's sad that someone would even put him there. And then it's sad that everyone would want to vote for somebody who was literally put into the DA's office to rig a case against an archbishop that was a proven pedophile. Yeah, that was Kamala. Okay. You got to read history about people. You don't just listen to the crap they say on a podium. See their past. What have they done up until now? You know, that's always a really good indicator. And, you know, struggle for me made me grow up. Made me become a better dad and a better person. Was my track record perfect? No. But did I go around spreading a bunch of bullshit? No. I told people straight up, hey man, I had a pretty bumpy past, you know. And what do you do with a past like that? You sit there and ponder on it. You know, all you guys and gals out there whose family is telling you can't do something or you're freaking bananas for doing it, are you going to let them tell you that? Are you going to believe what they're telling you? Because I did for a long time. I believed a lot of people growing up. You know, music is bad. You'll never be a rock star. Dude, I can play drums like a freaking crazy person. You know, I could sing really well. I mean, I can rap. I do comedy. I have a business. I'm 34. I'm not, 50. I'm only 34. I've done all these great things. And the majority of people in my life always told me how crazy I was. And maybe I am. Maybe I am crazy compared to a lot of regular people. Because I'm not okay with living one life how everybody else tells me to live it. And neither should you. You know, if you got a dream, bro, invest in it. I'm freaking nuts right now about comedy and my business. You know, credit card machines, helping businesses, and slanging jokes, baby. And everybody, you can't do both. Really, I'm doing both. I have more jokes written, about to put on more shows that are coming out in Houston. Hell, we're about to move out to Austin and really just do the damn thing. You know, I know it's overly saturated right now with comedians, but they're not all good. 90% of them are like toilet paper. No offense, but you know, you got your good ones though, bro. And all these things I hate revolve around me. So you just got to remember that no matter what you do, as long as you love it, you know, it's not going to be like you ever had to work a day in your life, you know? And I got scars all over me from my past, bro. I got to remember that every day. And that's okay. Because I'll tell you one thing. I genuinely love people. If you've met me, all right, and you've spent 5 minutes with me, you could tell how much I love everybody, you know? And I encourage everyone to be like that, because when you've had an experience of death like I have and come back from it, you know, what do you do with that? It's what do you do with that? I ask myself that every day. What am I going to do with it? What do you do with a second chance after something like that? And listen, you know, mine wasn't great. It's not like I went and flew as a butterfly. I was wading through black muck and a light shone down and brought me back to my body. You know? Well, I don't care if you believe in anything or not. I do. And you shouldn't care if anyone believes in you or not, as long as you do. And sometimes it gets lonely. And sometimes it's hard. And sometimes it feels like you're never going to win. And sometimes it sucks, dude. It sucks not drinking beer at night and going to the gym instead, because Not because I'm trying to be like, oh my God, look at these. You know, it's because I'm trying to be better here. And the entire manipulation of this world we live in is to get this whole thing messed up. And we're watching that unfold in our own country. Everybody's trying to bite each other's heads off. We should all just be trying to fuck. No. We should all just be trying to support what's right. You know, is scrambling the brains of a fetus right? I don't know. Probably fucking not. I'm not going to go around and tell all the women in the world that it's not right, though, because then they're going to get pissed at me. And, I mean, y'all women, go to a woman's bathroom. For real. I mean, I've done it. You really, you know when you got to take one and you're just like, and the dude's just been in there for 20 minutes. You already know he's stroking. Be stroking off. And you got to go. I'll run into a woman's bathroom. I don't even care. I'll unleash the deadliest shit. And they'll clear out like a bunch of cockroaches when you turn the light on in the projects. Just boom! And y'all ladies are gross, bro. I'm not trying to piss you off. You know? God, gay guys got it good. Huh? Do they? They walk around all day shitting pancakes. No. It's comedy. It's comedy. It's political. It's serious. It's not. Take what you want from it. Okay? Just don't give me any advice on what I'm doing. Because what I'm doing ain't what you're doing. It ain't what I'm doing. It ain't what you're doing with I'm doing how you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. That's like me going up to a personal trainer, you know, with this gut. And I work out and I already know it's diet. But I'm not going to go up to a personal trainer and be like, my diet's awesome compared to yours. You have no clue what you're doing. Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in it. Okay? Now that's for career-wise. When it comes to helping each other, that's different, bro. Is what they're doing in California helping anybody? I don't think so. I'm not talking about ICE. That's called the law. Dude, I've had the law on me, okay? And it's not like having a 24-year-old gymnast on you either, okay? It's like having a 400-pound guy dropped on you from a crane. But I made that mistake. These people are making that mistake. You're breaking the law, dude. You're destroying shit, thinking that's going to have a good outcome. It ain't. We all have a voice. I mean, there's a difference between protesting and rioting. We saw that. I mean, during the lockdown when people were looting Tampa, I knew so many business owners who lost everything. Oh, I've got insurance. Hey, you know what doesn't? People. Someone who's trying to get to work and protesters break their window open and bash their skull in. You know, and listen, if you're out there in the middle of the street rioting and you get your ass shot, don't riot. That's like me going to Fifth Ward over in H-Town and being like, hey guys, N-word. I'm getting shot in the face. I don't use it anywhere. I might use the soft A with the homies, you know, and I'm not talking about white ones either. I'm talking about my homies out here, baby. And they won't mind because they know me. But that's just dumb. You know? That's like a guy getting on a plane with his head wrapped and being like, I've got a bomb in my ass. Dude, you're getting shot. No one does these things, though. But these people over there, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Because it ain't working. It's making people pissed. It's making other people happy. And the ones it's making happy are the same freaking... never mind. Let's just put a pin in it. Point is, you know, stop. Anyway, I know a lot of y'all are having a hard time. How do I know that? Well, mental health issues are at an all-time high. We just had a $7.4 billion payout happened due to the Oxycontin crisis, which highly impacted my life, highly impacted my family's life, my wife's life, people around me, in a very negative way. No one made me do it, but let's just say I was given Darvocet when I was in 8th grade by a doctor. That's Percocet, not the blue kind, just the little 10 milligram ones. And I never forgot that feeling. So when I got older, and I was introduced to Oxy, and I took it, oh man, nothing touched me that way ever again, because I wasn't an altar boy. Oh! No. Your little Andrew Dice Clay. Oh! But, nothing ever gave me that feeling. So it's nice to see that $7.4 billion is being used across all of our states for better rehabs, better science, better studies, better everything for people. And I think it's important to, whether it's, someone who's been sent to jail or whether it's a person addicted, and it's usually both, right? A lot of people that are incarcerated did a lot of things under the influence. And I think it's really important to give people another shot. Now, if they've murked 2 people and made lampshades out of them, that's not the kind of guy I'm talking about giving another chance to. Do the math yourself, okay? But as a whole, it's amazing how many people are scared to hurt a cow or a pig or eat an egg, but they aren't scared to hurt their fellow man or woman. Blows my mind. But maybe you got to go through a lot more shit and struggle to realize what you got. Maybe you haven't struggled enough. And for those of you who are struggling, you got me. I'm here, bro. I'm here. Does that mean a lot? I'm not, Leonardo DiCaprio saying, give me your hand. Because I'm not an actor. I mean this shit. I mean it. So if you need somebody, I'm here. If you know anybody struggling with substance abuse, DM me. I'll get you to the right people, and we'll get them help. If you're a guy, women, please, I'm married, okay? I can hand you over to better women that can help you. But this is mainly for the men. It's Men's Mental Health Month still. Praise God. All right? If you're a guy and you need someone, I'm here. If you want to say, hey, Rick, how are you doing it? How are you keeping your head on straight through all the struggles that you've had? Through everybody telling you couldn't do something? Through everybody telling you it was insane to move to Texas and start your own company? What if you fail? Well, what if my plane crashes on vacation? Well, what if I'm walking the dog and someone drunk runs me over? Well, what if I go to take a dump and my entire asshole blows out? There's a lot of what ifs in this world, and I ain't got time for what ifs. I got time for what can I do? What can I do? What do I want? Who do I want to help? I've got my 3rd child on the way, due September. God, my other little girl, she pissed, boy. She like, what if she's born on my birthday? Well, then you won't have one like I do because my son was born right around mine. No, man, but it's like, fuck, I got 3 kids, a wife, a dog, a fish, my brain, myself, a family who's getting older, my external family, my parents, my grandparents. Praise God, I still got 3 out of my 4 of my grandparents. And the list goes on and on. And my brother, same thing. He's got this badass barbecue food truck he started. He makes the best barbecue sauce in Tampa Bay. Slow Bros Barbecue. Check him out, dude. Check him out. You want some real good barbecue that ain't full of bullshit and corn syrups and all that? Dude, and his sweet tea, diabetes. And everybody tell him he's nuts too. No, he's not, bro. He's a culinary expert. He went to school for it. He loves food the way I love. No, he loves food the way I love comedy. The way I love my company. That ain't nobody going to tell me you can do it or you can't. The only time that's going to happen is you're allowing it to, bro. Anyway, I know this week was a little more serious. Of course, we had a couple little laughs in there, but ultimately, man, What are we doing to help each other? I don't know. We're going to talk about struggle on this podcast. I'm going to have a few people on here who have been to prison, came out, and owned several businesses. We're going to have people on here who are comedians. We're going to have my boy Takeout and I are about to do a little collaborative one. I'm about to go back to Tampa here end of July, beginning of August, and tear up the comedy scene again. You guys might see my man Gina while I'm up on stage, you know. I'll do it. I'll pull it out if you let me. You know, but live life, laugh, have fun, do what you love, and don't stand for anybody else's bullshit just because you think you got to fall into place in somebody else's diabolical plan. Straight up. God bless the United States of America. God bless our president. And God bless all of you. No matter what side you're on, I love you. And I'm just hoping one day we can all be friends again. Later.